In this video, we're going to discover a neat way to organize and reuse our behavior trees. We're going to create a behavior factory that will provide some useful branches that we can use in various NPC behaviors, but also many times in the same NPC behavior. So for example, we have the looking around branch. So it's this branch in here with a repeater that runs a sequence where the NPC looks at a random angle and waits. We could have a class create this branch for us to use. So we're going to create a behavior factory, which will have static methods to create these branches. What I also want to add is a feature where a branch would start folded in like this. So now when we open the behavior tree viewer, all tasks are folded out like this. So it's a little bit hard to see what each thing is. So let's go to our task class. Let's go to task system base, then task. To control whether the foldout is visible or not, we are using view parameters. So if we go to name and behavior tree view parameters region, we have our view parameters over here. So these are marked as internal. So if we have a script outside of game.taskSystem, it will not have access to this variable since it is internal. So internal is like public, but only in the same namespace, which is pretty handy. We don't want to change that. However, let's add a method that will change the foldout visibility. So let's create a method here. Let's call it setFoldoutVisible, and in it we'll set the show foldout field of our view parameters to the visible parameter. Now let's create a class that will act like a factory of behaviors. Let's do it in the behavior trees folder. So in scripts, let's create a new folder called factories, and let's create a new class called behavior factory. It doesn't need to inherit from anything. We will use it to create some static methods. Let's use the game.taskSystem namespace. Let's create a method called lookaround. So this will create the looking around branch in our behavior tree. Let's go to our sentry and let's copy the code. So here we already have a create lookaround branch method. Let's control click it. So this is our method. So we're going to copy this code and put it in the behavior factory class. Okay, so let's go back to our sentry. So instead of using this method, we'll remove it, and instead we'll be calling behavior factory lookaround. We've been calling the create lookaround branch in 3 places. So in the investigate hostile branch method, and we're replacing it. Let's do it also in the investigate noise branch. So let's do it here, and let's do it over here as well. Okay, now let's go back to the method in behavior factory. I'm going to set foldoutVisible on the repeater to false, and I'm going to set its name to lookaround. Okay, so let's run a test. I'm running the game. I'm going to click on this NPC and open the behavior tree viewer. Let's go to the investigate hostile method. Okay, so here is our looking around branch. And as you notice, so I'm going to zoom in. So as you notice, it is folded in by default. So that's pretty handy. So the behavior factory is very useful. You can define a lot of behaviors in here, then use them in other behavior trees. Let's create a branch in the behavior factory that will make the NPC investigate an area around a point. So the search area method will take a position and a radius. We're going to put the whole branch underneath a repeater. We're going to set the foldout to invisible, then name it search area. Let's create a sequence that we're going to parent to the repeater. So we already have a pick random destination task. What this does is pick a random point around the NPC and store it in a destination variable. We need something similar, except that the destination will be around a point in space rather than around the NPC. So let's call it pick random destination in area. Let's put it in game.taskSystem namespace. We don't need it to inherit from NPC action because we will not be needing a reference to an NPC. So what I'm going to do is copy this code and paste it in our new class, and then we're going to modify it. So we still need a radius. Let's add an area center variable, and actually let's rename radius to area radius, and the destination will be where the action outputs the destination. So to make the syntax more convenient, let's create a couple of constructors, and in the onUpdate method, since we're not going to be using an NPC here, So we're going to use the area center. So instead of NPC position, we'll use area center.value. And in order to use navmesh, let's import unityengine.ai. And then we sample the position. Let's rename this to random point. So we sample the position. If we find something, we're going to set destination value to hit that position and return success. And we're going to do this in a for loop. So I'm taking this opportunity to go back to these classes. So in the pick random destination, let's also add a couple of constructors here. So we're going to add these constructors for all the tasks from now on. This makes the syntax a lot easier to write. So let's do it in the goto action as well. So for the goto action, I'm actually going to define 3 constructors, a constructor without any parameters, one with the destination, and another one with destination and run. Okay, let's go back to our behavior factory. Let's rename the parameters here. Let's rename them to area center and area radius, just to be consistent with our new action. Let's add our new action to the sequence. We're going to add a task, new pick random destination in area, and we're going to give it our area center, our area radius. Then we define a destination vector tree or shared vector tree, and we make sure to instantiate it. Then let's create a shared vector tree destination that we're going to instantiate, then pass it as third parameter in the action constructor. Then let's add a goto action that will make the NPC go to that destination. So I was going to add a wait action here, but actually, let's add a look around branch here. When we go to the destination, we don't want the goto to take forever. So we're going to add a parallel selector with the goto here. And we're going to add a wait action here with a duration set to 10 to 15 seconds. So if the NPC takes more than between 10 and 15 seconds to reach the destination, so this whole parallel selector will succeed. And then we're going to stop and look around. So if we do this 3 times, like between 3 and 5 times, then we'll have investigated the area. Okay, so we have our search area branch. Let's use it in our sentry. Let's go back to our sentry behavior tree. Let's go to the investigate hostile branch. Let's go to create investigate hostile branch. So here we already have the last known position. That's going to be our search area center. So after looking around, we can add a search area branch. Yeah, so search area needs an area center. So let's give it our last known position. And let's also give it an area radius. So let's set this to 10 meters. So when we create the goto action, we can simplify the syntax now that we have some proper constructors. We can simply give it the last known position. No need to use that inline declaration. Yeah, so the inline declaration, something like this, is always useful if you don't want to spend a lot of time creating constructors, but the constructors are worth the effort. Okay, so let's test this code. Actually, in the search area, let's give it a radius of 20. That's going to make it a little bit bigger, so the NPC will have a much bigger area to search. Okay, so I created some sentries here. I'm going to actually remove them and only keep one of them. So let's put our player in here. So I put all of these meshes, all of these objects in the level geometry object here. These are the objects that I created in the last video. So let's put this somewhere over here, just so we can have our NPCs down here. Let's open the behavior tree viewer. We're going to run the game. Okay, so the NPC is in the idle state. So we're going to collapse the engage branch and we're going to look at the investigate hostile branch. So in here we have our search area. So our behavior factory has done a good job of creating the look around branch here and the search area branch. Okay, so we have the sequence, pick random destination in area, then a parallel selector where we go to the destination. Then we have the look around branch over here. Okay, so this looks good. So let's change our team. So let's put our NPC in the red faction and let's get in front of the other NPC. So he's engaging me. I'm going to hide. And actually what I'm going to do, so he's going to come to me. So I'm going to put my NPC in a different layer. So in the water layer, for example. So he's going to come, but he's not going to see me. So now he's in the investigate hostile branch. So he's looking around, then he's going to search the area. Okay, so he's in the search area branch. So he's got a destination on the staircase. So as you can see, he's looking around. Then he's going to go back to pick random destination again. So he's chosen another destination. So apparently the code returns some positions in the underground area here. He has picked up another position. Okay, so all these positions are around my last known position, which is here. Let's see if he's going to pick up another position. So again, a position underneath the floor. Okay, great. Now he has left the investigate hostile branch and he's going to go back to his guard post. So as you can see, with a behavior factory, it's much easier to create reusable branches and use them everywhere in your code. Let's go back to our behavior factory. So here I'd much rather have this method setFoldOutVisible be a property instead, so we can use it in an inline declaration like this. First, let's start by using it here. So in this repeater, let's set the name in the inline declaration. So we're going to set the name here. Then let's use a foldOutVisible property that we're going to set to false. And here, no need to call this method. So we're going to keep the method, but we're going to add this property just to have an easier syntax. So let's go back to our task script in task system base task. So here we have the setFoldOutVisible method. So let's add the foldOutVisible property, which is going to return viewParameters.showFoldOut, and when setting it, it's going to set the showFoldOut as well, and it's going to set it in the setter as well. So here we used to have a viewer showFoldOut property. Let's remove this comment here. Let's go back to our behavior factory. Now let's use the foldOutVisible property. For example, in the Wander branch, we're going to go to the root. Then instead of using this method, what we'll do is use the property here. We're setting the foldOutVisible property to false, just so this branch is collapsed in the beginning. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit like if you liked the video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.